Hi, my name is Morgan, and today I'll be making Jersey peach gelato, and the recipe calls for 1 1/2 pounds of fresh peaches, 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 1/2 cups of whole milk, 1 cup of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and 1 pinch of salt. The first step of the recipe is to cut and peel the peaches. The translation for gelato in Italian literally means frozen, and it was perfected for hundreds of years until we see the delicious treat that we know today. It really picked up popularity with the famous Medici family, where they were known for serving frozen desserts during their banquets. They had the sorbet version of gelato introduced at Caterina de' Medici's wedding to the King of France. From there, gelato really picked up fame from Francesco Procopio Catelli, who was from Sicily and opened a cafe in Paris called Cafe Procope. Since then, gelato cafes opened along the streets of many Italian cities, especially in Florence and Rome, and are a treat that Italians enjoy in their daily life. The next step of the recipe is to blend together the peaches to create the peach puree. Interestingly, the modern flavor of gelato is attributed to Bernardo Buontalenti, who was an architect for the Medici family. But he revised the original recipe to add a combination of milk, sugar, cream, and eggs. With this recipe, he created the dessert for the inauguration of the Grand Duke Cosimo de' Medici in 1559. It was such a hit that Buontalenti began creating flavors for the family to try. The next step is to pour the juice into a sieve to create a fine textured peach puree. The reason why I chose this dish was because my mother and I have always been interested in trying different kinds of ice cream, and the Italian version of that was super exciting for me to make. Also, I gave my mother a Ninja Creamy for her birthday, so this year I knew that I had to put it into a good use, and I was super excited to try, as my mom and I are always making different types of fruit ice cream, so I knew that this was something that we'd be interested in. For me, it was not difficult to find the ingredients. I actually had them all in my stock at home. Partly because my mom is always making ice cream like this, and because she loves cooking, and we're a bit of an ingredient household, so we already had all the ingredients at home. The next step is to mix the puree with 1/4 of the granulated sugar in a large bowl. And the main differences between gelato and ice cream is that gelato is churned slower, which incorporates less air, which creates a thicker and creamier texture. Surprisingly, it also contains less fat than ice cream and is able to be served at higher temperatures. And usually in Italy, they focus on the intense flavors, fruits, and other flavors such as that, which they pride themselves over in comparison to American ice cream. The next step is to, over medium heat, mix the milk, the puree, and the rest of the sugar together and add a pinch of salt. Again, it should be done over medium heat until the sugar is fully melted. Meanwhile, you should start preparing the heavy cream mixture by adding the heavy cream and vanilla to another bowl to be able to be incorporated after the medium heat is finished. Again, over medium heat, mix together the mixture for the puree. Until the sugar is fully melted. After finishing the dish, I just have to say that me and my family loved it, as we are huge fans of peaches. My mom asked for the recipe, and they will definitely be making it again. Oh, dog break. I would most definitely be making the dish again, maybe while I'm in Italy or before I leave, but this time I'll be reducing the amount of milk that I added, or the amount of peaches that I added, and increasing the amount of milk, just so that it makes a more creamy finished product. But I would also love to order this in Italy, because I think it'd be great to see how they made it and what it tastes like in comparison to one I made back at home. In this step, we're slowly incorporating the heavy cream mixture into the puree. Just make sure you don't drop the bowl into the puree like I did. You're about to see that happen. As you can see, I was having a lot of fun during this process. And then I dropped it. But I had to taste test it first. And the next step is to pour it into the little Ninja Creamy bowls and put the plastic wrap over top of it before putting it into the freezer overnight. We had to find space in the freezer because we never have enough. And while you're waiting, you can make an espresso. The next morning, I took them out of the freezer and put them in the Ninja Creamy. And then it was a delicious treat to enjoy. And my entire family loved it, and it was gone within 10 minutes. Definitely won't be making